Let's take a look at this function. Tangent of the quantity of x plus pi over 4. So how are we going to graph that? Well, let's begin by trying to find two consecutive vertical asymptotes. So the idea that we had with this is we took this normal period from minus pi halves to positive pi halves, and then look for the values of this quantity in between. So let's work out together. So minus pi halves, what values are between that and this x plus pi fourths and its typical ending period or that second vertical asymptote. So let's solve this for x. So I'm going to subtract pi fourths from both sides. Let's find a common denominator. Let's multiply this first one by 2 over 2. So I have minus 2 pi over 4 minus pi over 4 x. Add those. Let's make this a 2 pi over a 4 minus a pi over 4. Again, we're just using some basic algebra to isolate for x in this compound inequality. This gives me a 3 pi over a 4 less than x, and looks like over here that gives me a pi over a 4. So there are my two consecutive vertical asymptotes. Whoops, that's a negative. I have one at negative 3/4 pi and one at a positive quarter pi. So let's kind of gently put those on my graph here. So let's say right about there is pi fourths. And let's go over pi fourths plus another negative 3/4 pi. So negative 3/4 pi. And those are my vertical asymptotes. And I'm going to erase this right here so I have some room to work. Sorry guys, bad whiteboard management this time. All right, so there's my two vertical asymptotes. You kind of see that there's a little bit of a shift going on, a little bit of a phase shift type of an idea. Okay, the next point is we want to look for our X-intercept, and our X-intercept is halfway between those 2 points. And we might be able to eyeball it and get a sense, but if we want to find out exactly where that's at, we're going to kind of have to basically find our distance formula between these 2 points. So that means that, let's take the distance, minus 3/4 pi plus quarter pi. Distance means add them together and divide by 2, and that helps us to find our midpoint. So we got some work here, don't we, folks? Add the top, so I get negative 2 pi over 4 divided by 2. It looks right. Flip it over. So I have negative 2 pi all over 8, and that reduces down to negative quarter pi. So my midway point right there is negative pi over 4. So I know my graph crosses the x-intercept at that point. The next 2 points I want to find out is what's happening a quarter of the way through the graph. I found out what's happening already at halfway through the graph, and I want to find out what's happening 3/4 of the way throughout the graph. So the quarter point, roughly right about there, is determined by my amplitude. My amplitude is a 1, so the first point's down. We're a negative 1 halfway between those 2 points is at a 1. And then halfway between these 2 points, which is right on the x or on the y-axis, I have a value up at positive 1. And with that, I have enough information to go ahead and start to create that graph. Try to go through that dot. I hope you understand what I was trying to do. So there you go. And then if we need to add cycles to that, if it's asking us to create some repetitive cycles, we just take the same graph and move it to the right or to the left.